Hello all and welcome to the Department of Physics of KTHM College, Nashik and KTHM e-learning YouTube channel. I am Professor Sneha Bua. I am teaching you the subject Mechanics and Properties of Matter. Chapter name Fluid Mechanics. Today's topic is Equation of Continuity. Now in previous two lectures, we started with the chapter that is Fluid Mechanics, and we have seen several things related to that chapter, such as we define what are fluids. The substances which can flow are considered as a fluids. So gases and liquids are considered as a fluids. We saw certain properties associated with the fluids such as viscous force, viscosity. Also, we studied coefficient of viscosity, its units and dimensions in the first lecture. In the second lecture, we started studying the types of flows for the fluids such as steady and turbulent flow. Also, we studied Reynolds number and its significance. In today's lecture, we are going to see what is equation of continuity of liquids. For that, we have to consider a tube of flow, as you can see on the screen. What is tube of flow that we have studied in our previous lectures? You should watch the previous videos for that. Now consider a tube of flow as shown in this figure. Now I have marked different parts or the areas of that tube of flow. At point P, we can see that the area of that tube is equals to A1, and at point R the area is A2. Now we consider that the velocity of a liquid particles which are flowing through this tube of flow are having a velocity, like the liquid particles which are flowing through this tube are having velocity v1 at point p1, or when they are passing through the surface area a1. So at p, the velocity of the liquid particle we consider as v1 bar, and at R, when the liquid particles which entered through point P or surface area A1, when they reach towards R, point R, or where the surface area is A2, the liquid particles are having velocity over there as V2 bar. Okay. Now the volume of liquid which is entering through point P or area A1, so volume of liquid entering the cross section A1 at point P per second will be equals to A1 into V1 bar, and the volume of liquid leaving the tube at point R, where cross section is A2, per second will be equal to A2 into V2 bar. Now we consider that the densities of the liquid at point P and at point R are ρ1 and ρ2 respectively. Therefore, the mass of liquid entering through, the mass of liquid entering through P or cross section area A1 will be equals to A1 V1 ρ1, and the mass of liquid which is leaving through A2 at R will be equal to A2 V2 ρ2, where ρ is the density of the liquid at point P and at point R respectively. Now we have written the mass of liquid which is entering through and leaving through this tube in terms of ρ, that is density. We know density ρ is equals to mass by volume. Therefore, mass will be equals to density into volume. The volume of liquid which is entering through section P, A1 or cross section A1 or at a point P, and the volume of liquid leaving the tube at point R that we have already calculated, which is equals to A1 V1 and A2 V2. So by using those equations, we found out the mass of a liquid which is entering through the cross section A1 or at point P, which is equals to A1 V1 ρ1, and the mass of liquid which is leaving the tube at point R is A2 V2 and ρ2. So in tube of flow, we know that the liquid enters the tube only at P and it leaves the tube only at R. Also, the streamlines, different streamlines which are flowing inside that tube, they do not even intersect each other. Such type of flow is known as a tube of flow. So in tube of flow, the liquid enters the tube only at P and leaves the tube only at R. So therefore, the amount of mass of a liquid which is entering at point P, it must be equal to the amount of mass which is leaving at point R. So therefore, from this statement, we can write down the amount of mass of a liquid which is entering through point P or cross section area A1, which is equals to A1 V1 rho 1 is equals to A2 V2 rho 2, which is amount of mass of liquid which is leaving through point R or cross section area A2. So for incompressible fluids or liquids are always incompressible. For that, what is the meaning of incompressible? The densities of the liquid will always be constant. So for incompressible fluid, density rho 1 is equals to rho 2. Therefore, from this we can write down, suppose I give this equation as number 1, this is number 2. So from 1 and 2, we can write down A1 V1 is equals to A2 V2, that is the volume of liquid which is flowing through point P and point R. Okay, now these equations that we are seeing above, that is equation 1 and 2, these are the examples of mathematical relationship known as the equations of continuity, which are in effect the conservation law for the mass of a liquid. The equation of continuity states that within a tube of flow or within any volume element of a space, if there are no sources or sinks, okay, if there are no sources or sinks, what is the meaning of that? Sources means if there is no space from which we can add an extra liquid into that volume element, or a sink from which the liquid which is flowing through that tube or that volume element will get escaped from it. Okay, so within this volume element, if there is no source and sink, then the total mass within that volume element must remain constant. So in more general cases, if sources and sinks are present, then the equation of continuity gives the mathematical representation of a very reasonable assertion that rate of outflow or inflow of the matter is equal to the rate at which the mass contained within the volume element is changing. Okay, if there are any sinks or sources present in between that volume element. Now this equation of continuity, they are very common in physics. Okay, so it is not only limited to the liquids. The continuity equations are not only limited to the liquids. Okay, they appear in a subject wherever there is a flow is involved. Okay, so whether it be the flow of liquid particles or gaseous particles, or whether it be a flow of electric charges. Okay, so wherever there is a flow is involved, there we can see the equations of continuity in physics. For example, there is a continuity equation for electric charge. Okay, that is the conservation law for the electric charge than the mass. Why? Because we have seen previously that these equations or these continuity equations are nothing but are in effect are the conservation laws for the mass of that liquid. The next topic that we are going to study is the energy associated with the flowing liquid, or the energy of a flowing liquid. Now, since a flowing liquid has inertia, so there is a kinetic energy associated with it, because flowing liquid means liquid molecules are flowing with a certain velocity in a certain direction. So that is why there is a kinetic energy associated with them. It has inertia, it has a like position, so there is a potential energy associated with it. Also there is a pressure energy associated with the flowing liquid. So we will see these three types of energies for the flowing liquid. Now, the first one being the kinetic energy. We have already defined kinetic energy in our second chapter. What is kinetic energy? It is the energy of a liquid by virtue of its motion. Okay, so it is called as a kinetic energy. Now for a liquid which is having mass m, that is uh, mass m of a liquid which is flowing with velocity small v bar, and which is having the volume is equals to capital V. So the kinetic energy associated with this flowing liquid is equals to half mv square, where v is the velocity of the liquid molecules. Therefore, the kinetic energy per unit volume of this liquid is given as, or it can be written as, mv bar square upon capital V. This is kinetic energy per unit volume. But we know that mass upon volume is density. So therefore it becomes half into rho into V bar square. So this is the kinetic energy of a liquid per unit volume. I have written it over here. So I'll write down here again. Kinetic energy is equals to mv bar square upon capital V, which is equals to half rho V bar square. Now the second energy that we are going to see is a potential energy. Again, we have defined potential energy in our second chapter, that is work and energy. It is energy of a liquid by virtue of its position. Okay, so if we consider that mass m of a liquid is stored at height h from any reference level or from a ground, then the potential energy associated with that liquid which is stored at height h will be equals to m into g into h, where g is the acceleration due to gravity. So therefore potential energy per unit volume will be given as mgh upon capital V. Again we know mass by volume is density, so this will become rho g h. So this is the potential energy per unit volume which is associated with the flow of liquid. Now the third type of energy that we are going to study is a pressure energy. Now what is pressure energy? Energy possessed by a liquid due to pressure exerted on it, okay, is called as pressure energy of the liquid. For that we consider, now to study the pressure energy and its equation, we have to consider a system. Okay, we have to consider a tank that you can see in this diagram. Okay, tank A we have considered, it is having a side outlet, this one, okay, which is having a piston R, okay, and the which can smoothly move inside and outside of that side tube. Let h, okay, this is small h, be the height of the free surface of liquid above the datum line BC. Okay, this is BC is the datum line from the side tube which is attached to this tank. Okay, from that the height of the liquid is small h. It means that much amount of liquid is present above that datum line or above that tube. So height of the free surface of the liquid above the datum line BC of the outlet tube, and rho be the density of the liquid in that tank. Now the hydrostatic pressure at the level BC is given as P is equals to H rho G. Okay, P equals to H rho G. That much amount of pressure is getting exerted on this line BC. It means what? This line is what? That the liquid which is up to that line, up to the outlet, okay, small outlet, on that the H rho G amount of pressure is being exerted, okay, by the liquid which is above that level. Now if we move the piston R, okay, if we move the piston R inside, if we push this piston R inside in this direction for x amount of distance, okay, if we so we suppose that x is the distance through which the piston R is pushed inwards, then volume of liquid pushed into tank, volume of liquid which is pushed into tank is equals to A into x. Now what is A? A is the surface area or the cross section area of the that outlet of that tube, okay, or tank. So AX is the volume of liquid which is pushed into that tank. Therefore, mass of liquid which is pushed inside that tank is volume into density. We know, we have defined, or we have assumed that density of the liquid inside that tank is rho. So therefore, mass of the liquid pushed inside the tank is A into X into rho. Okay. Now, as the tank is wide enough and a very small amount of liquid is pushed inside, okay, X distance, okay, we have pushed this piston by distance X, which is very small. So and the tank is very huge as compared to the side outlet. So a very small amount of liquid is entering into that tank. So we consider the change in height and the pressure, we considered it to be constant. So there is no change in height and change in pressure. So the work done in pushing a piston through distance x, work done in pushing this piston through distance x, W is equals to force on piston into distance moved. Okay, now the force which is applied on the piston is equals to pressure into area into the distance is x, so which is equals to P into A into x. Now this work done is a pressure energy of the liquid of mass AX rho. Therefore, work done or pressure energy per unit mass of liquid is equals to PAX upon mass of liquid is AX rho, which is equals to P by rho, which is equals to pressure divided by density. This is the relation for the pressure energy which is associated with the flow of liquid. In this way, in this chapter, in this lecture, we have studied two different topics. First one is the equation of continuity, which is nothing but the conservation law of mass of the liquid. And we have studied three different types of energies associated with the flow of liquid, that is kinetic energy, potential energy and pressure energy. Thank you.